back, everybody. This Sarcasm Speaks. It's a Master Sunday morning for us. I know this isn't going to come out probably until tomorrow, but here we are. Our schedule is off because it's the Master. Well, I guess also kind of because it's Easter, but also because it's the Masters.
Yeah, I'm not
which is
doing
more
Easter
important. Yeah,
I'm not doing Easter.
Before we get into like the whole Masters thing, whose idea was it to schedule Easter on Masters weekend? That's fucking stupid.
The Pope should figure this out.
Yeah, he
There's
he
no
needs to be
need.
better.
There's no need to have Easter on Master Sunday.
No, zero. Like it's an absolute waste.
It's actually selfish.
It is very selfish. Yeah.
Teetering on reckless.
Yeah, I feel like isn't Easter early this year too? Like, isn't it usually not till like the middle of it or end?
It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere from like third week of March to like late April,
which is also really fucking stupid. Like, figure it out, right? Like, why not? Why don't you have a set date for this?
Yeah, it's probably like Bible times or something.
Yeah, but Bible times they didn't even use the Gregorian calendar.
Well, I think that's the problem. I think that's why Easter's all over the map.
But we know exactly when Christmas is. That never changes.
Because that was a single date.
Well, so is Easter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yeah, Easter's the day that Jesus came out of the tomb. He woke up from his nap. He partied really fucking hard. He fell asleep for 3 days, and then he woke up. Like, it's all the same shit. Like, the day you're born, the day you wake up.
I don't know.
I think it's fucking stupid.
I don't know. I don't
Pick a date. Pick a date and keep it there. Move this shit around. Thanksgiving's a made-up date, but we just keep that the same date.
Well, it's always the fourth Thursday, but Thanksgiving isn't religious.
The third Thursday, but yeah.
You want to try that again?
I thought it's just the third Thursday in November.
I think it's the fourth. Because then we would have, then there would be some where Thanksgiving would be as early as the 15th. That's way too early.
Yeah, that's very early. What's the other one? Oh, Veterans Day. Is that the third Thursday or the second Thursday?
No, Veterans Day is always the 11th, I think.
Oh, they move that one around too, don't they?
Yeah, Veterans Day is always the same date, but the day of the week changes.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's all fucking stupid, basically, is what it comes down to. And
oh my God, it depends on the moon. That's why it's all fucked up.
What depends on the moon?
Easter.
We're still using the moon to tell time for this bullshit fucking holiday.
The holiday is set to coincide with the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon. The first full moon after the vernal equinox.
That's so fucking stupid. So it's literally just made up. It's literally made up. We have no idea when Jesus woke up from his hangover.
Hello. We're just like first Sunday after the full. Hold on.
Yeah, but if we base it off the moon, then that
the Paschal full moon.
Yeah, but if we base it off the moon, then that means we had no idea like when this actually happened. We're just like, oh, we're going to celebrate it after the full moon. Like, where in the Bible does it say that after the full moon is when all this happened? We just made that up. Everything's made up. Everything.
So I hate to do this. I'm guessing that probably is in the Bible, as opposed to like a day.
Who knows? I've never read it
because I've never read the Bible.
Yeah, I haven't.
Never studied the Bible either.
Yeah, I'm not a theologist.
No, I'm guessing that this is actually in there because there has to because again, even though it's like arbitrary, there is a flawed, but there is a line of thought for when it is, and it's like when 3 chickens crow at the same time and wait 14 business days. Like, it's whatever, but. I'm guessing that's in there as opposed to
Passover is a better holiday.
What's better about Passover?
You can actually trace it to like shit happened.
If doesn't Passover also change the date?
I don't know. Does it?
I don't know. I'm not Jewish.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But I feel like Passover is like more
It's based on
likely.
it's on the Hebrew calendar.
Yeah. And that's like something that legitimately happened, right? Like they had to put lamb's blood on the outside of their door. Otherwise, like the Egyptians would come and fucking murder them. Other than like I said, some guy got fucking hammered. He went on a bender and then woke up from a 3 day long nap.
No, dude, he died.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, he definitely died and came back. Yep, for sure. Because we know that's how it happens. Totally plausible. But
Oh, I think Passover is based on the moon too.
oh, that's also retarded then. Stop basing your shit on the moon. What are we, the Aztecs? The fuck? The Mayans? Oh yeah, because the Mayans did so good based on their calendar predicting the end of the world, huh?
Yeah, Jewish holidays rely on the lunar calendar as well.
Can we get past this shit? We have the Gregorian calendar.
No,
Everyone's been using it for I don't even know how long. At least since 1776, and that's when history began for me. So, anything before that doesn't even fucking matter.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Besides, who is this Gregory guy anyway? Was he any good?
Yeah, probably some asshole.
Sounds like a bitch.
Bet you he didn't pay his taxes on time.
Probably hit his wife.
Yeah.
Kicked the
But
dog when he went home.
it just arbitrarily divided up the year into 365 and 1/4 days, which also is the
That's
dumbest
based on.
thing
Hey,
ever.
isn't that based on the moon or the sun? No,
That's the solar calendar. So
solar.
that's
Oh,
what we use.
let's just
It's
mix in some more calendars.
the Gregorian calendar is based off of that. So it's like, that's another thing too, like the whole, are we in the simulation thing? It's like, are we that like really our year is 365 and 1/4 days. So
Yes.
whoever built this stupid fucking simulation put in 365 and 1/4 days. And our solution is that we're just going to ignore that quarter of a day for 3 years. And then
And we'll add it back in.
on the fourth year, we'll just add another day. Yeah, no problem. Whatever.
It's cool.
Which actually, now that I think about it, that means that can we start like fucking around with people on the date? So like the year before leap year, that would be theoretically when like time is most inaccurate. So if it's like, oh, today's March 32nd. like in Parks and Rec, like reschedule all my meetings. And she reschedules them for March 31st.
Because you didn't think it was 31st.
She didn't think there was 31 days. But like could we pull some bullshit like that and like make up a fake day in the year before leap year? Because technically there's 3/4 of a day, which what is that? How many is 24 divided by 4 is 6. So that's 18 hours that just goes unaccounted for throughout the year. Do we just like stick that somewhere?
No.
No, we have to wait until the fourth year and then add a
The
full
day's
day.
the day, and then there's a leap year. Or leap
Which
day.
is also really stupid that we add the extra day in the second month of the year. Because then like everything up until that point is off by 18 to 24 hours. Right? Like, wouldn't it make more sense to just tack the day on either like at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year?
Truthfully, I have no clue. I don't understand this stuff. Like,
This is all really fucking stupid, basically. Everything's made up. Everything's fake. Nothing is real.
Master Sunday is always the first full week, or I guess Master's week is always the first full week of April.
Right.
So figure Easter out otherwise.
Yeah.
Someone have a word with the moon.
Seriously. Can we just like blow that thing out of the sky? Can we just Death Star that bitch? Just blow it up. And if we're lucky, pieces of the moon would just fucking hit Earth and blow us up too while we're at it. So speaking of Masters, we got ourselves a little bit of a back and forth. Well, it's shaping up to be a back and forth. Um, Bruce looked like he was going to kind of pull away with it. Well, I guess through the first restart, Rom pulled close, then Bruce pulled away, and now they're back to only within one shot because Kepka bogeyed 12. So
Yeah, I think they had a 2-shot swing on 7 as well.
yeah, Rom birdied it and Kepka
I think he
bogeyed
bogeyed.
it. Yeah, that was their first hole back. Which, I mean, all things considered, I mean, I'm sure this will shape up to be a great Masters Sunday round, just with the back and forth between Kepka and Rom. But outside of that, kind of a shitty Masters weekend. Thursday was fine. I mean, Thursday was great. Friday, weather is not good. They had to suspend play. So they picked up the second round Saturday morning. They finished that up and then started the third round shortly after. And then right around like what, 3 o'clock yesterday, they
It was just done.
suspended for the entire day. They were like, yeah, we're calling it. Friday, the wind was so bad, it ripped down 2 trees on the course. They fell right on the 17th tee box. Luckily, no one was injured. But, you know, I think they said that the winds were gusting up to like 30 plus miles an hour on Friday. They got 2 inches of rain within 24 hours from Friday through Saturday. So, I mean, like I said, outside of like the battle for the win, kind of a shitty weekend for just the Masters in general. But it's the Masters, so even rain and suspended play and all that shit, it's better than the Valspar. So
this could actually shape up to be very similar to the 2016 Open Championship. Do you remember that tournament?
Vaguely. It was Phil and Enrique, right?
Yeah. So I remember watching that tournament. So the
Didn't Phil blow it? He like didn't
no,
he
no, no,
he
no. So third round ends. Stenson is ahead of Phil by 1. 12 under, 11 under. Next closest guy is Bill Haas at 6 under. It was Bill Haas, then Beef was 5 under, and JB Holmes was 4 under. Nasty, gross.
Yeah.
So, in the final round, Stenson shoots 63, Phil shoots 65.
Oh wow.
So Stenson wins by 3, 20 under, 17 under, and they were 11 clear of third place.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if that's happening, but right now right now the numbers are identical. So if everybody makes par all the way through or nets out to par, 12 11 6 is what that Open Championship was.
Going
And that's
into
what
the
it is.
final round.
And that's what it is right now with the final group on 13.
Yeah. And I mean, you have Kepka, who at his peak was the best golfer in the world. He's a few years removed from
You
that.
could say the same about Rahm.
And I was just going to say, Rahm right now arguably is one of the best golfers in the world currently.
Well, it's him or Scheffler. I'm not listening to any Rory talk.
No, Rory hasn't won. So
Missed the cut this week.
yeah, sick. So I mean, the other cool thing about it is we have a great leaderboard too. So it's not like in that way it's better than the 2016 Open. Because like you said, there was what JB Holmes and fucking all
Bill
these
Haas.
other bums. This is like outside of Kepka and Rom. It's Sam Bennett, who's the amateur, who was lighting up the course the first 2 days. He's fallen a little bit back to reality, you know, between yesterday and today. But we have Hovland, Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, Jason Day is up there. I think Hideki Matsuyama is kicking around.
Yeah, he
up
was
there.
around.
So it's like, this is a beautiful leaderboard. Like, this is what you want, right? So, I mean, I know Kepka and Rom have, a 5-6 shot separation from third and beyond, but this is what you want in a major. You want a stacked leaderboard. You don't want, Henrik Stenson, Phil Mickelson, and then Bill Haas and JB Holmes and all. You don't want that. That's not fun. That's not exciting. So at least if it does come down to almost like a match between Kepka and Ram, at least there's guys behind them that like if anybody on that leaderboard won, I would be fine, right? Like any of the names I just said, if they won, I would be cool with it.
There's some I'm cooler with than others, mostly because
Well, yeah,
I have a financial interest in them.
well, absolutely. Which
No,
actually
but
brings
any of the names you said, like, because I'm very particular about like who I like to win golf tournaments, especially the Masters. Oof, Bennett, gross. That was not ideal. Holy shit, that looks like me out there. I like guys who win. Cantlay, Hovland, Morikawa,
oh god,
Day,
gross. Yeah, that was very short.
Matsuyama. Like those are all good. Bennett,
Yeah.
USAM winner. Like
Yeah.
he's a good player. And I
Right.
also love it because all week it was Gordon Sargent this and Gordon Sargent that. And
He hits the
wow,
ball a mile.
Gordon Sargent, Gordon Sargent. And Gordon Sargent's good. He won the NCAAs. Like that's why he got like a special invite because next year that's a change. The NCAA champ gets to play. And he's good. Like the kid is good.
Yeah.
But like all week, Sargent. Like, man, he had to get a special invite. He wasn't even in the top 2 of
Yeah.
the USAM. How about the guy who won? And here he is.
Right.
No, he's gonna bogey this hole because that was the worst putt I've fucking seen since I was out there, probably at the fucking Bay Club or something. But like Sam Bennett's good.
Yeah.
So having him up there is fine by me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, all these guys, like you just go through Kepka, Rom, Cantlay, Hovland, Bennett, Matsuyama. So that's your first, 6 guys. And then you got Russell Henley, who's T6. He's whatever. Like I'm not a big fan of Russell Henley, but he's probably not going to win anyway. Matt Fitzpatrick, he won the US Open last year. So he's good. Justin Rose, I like Justin Rose. He at one point was the number 1 golfer in the world. Like
Major
4 or
winner.
5 years ago, major winner. Joaquin Niemann, okay, whatever. He's still kind of young. He's probably not going to win anyway. He's a 4 back, right? Like whatever. Jason Day right there, also 4 back. I like Jason Day. And next would be Colin Morikawa. So those are all your guys at T8 and above. Those are all great names. And then just outside of that, the guys at T13 are Xander Schauffele, Gary Woodland, Shane Lowry. Those are all major. No, Schauffele hasn't won a major.
Not Schauffele.
He has a gold medal.
Though.
He has a gold medal though. So, I mean, that's a stacked leaderboard. Out of the T13, so those are 15 names. There's two guys out of the top 15 that I'm like lukewarm over, and that's Russell Henley and Joaquin Niemann.
The other thing too is you can get what Sunday provides with some of the pins. You can get excitement because one's 1, 2 has got the funnel pin, 3 is 3. Usually they stick it up front.
Yeah,
because that's where Scotty Scheffler holed out last year after fucking skull fucking that ball. 4 is a bitch. 5's like probably the hardest hole in the course. 6 is a long par 3 fine. 7's got a funnel pin. 8's got a funnel pin. Par 5. Oof. 9. I forget where the pin is on 9. 10, 11, you hang on for dear life. 12 is fucking, the spiral of wind.
Yeah. 12 is good luck.
But then 13, 14, 15.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm like
16,
a solid 10 seconds behind you, by the way.
That's fine. 13, 14, 15, 16. I forget this the 17th pin. I forget that.
I
And
forget. I
eight,
mean,
eight
that green is ridiculous. So
yeah, I forget.
17's like just hold
It
on.
might be a back right pin. I
Yeah.
forget. Um, so like there's birdies all throughout the back.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, again, the two cliches that fucking are so fucking annoying are, oh, like, TV doesn't do the hills justice, and oh, the Masters doesn't start till the back nine on Sunday. It's like, yeah, that's because like 13 and on, like you could realistically birdie every single hole.
Right.
Whereas five, it's like, hang on, four,
Yeah.
hang on.
5, 7, and was it 14? Or yeah, no, 5, 7, and 17, I think, are some of the hardest holes.
But seven, the pin on seven is a funnel pin on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, yeah, on Sunday.
On Sunday. So yeah, I mean it's a really hard tee shot because it's super claustrophobic.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a super narrow fairway.
yeah, but the pin on Sunday is generous. So, but I mean, again, it's like getting through the first six is really fucking hard. Outside of two, two is friendly, and then the other holes in the front are just a bitch.
Yeah. So I mean, we're setting ourselves up here for a decent Sunday afternoon. So should be good. We'll
Yeah,
see. And I mean, if things hold up the way they are, I mean, Rom gave one back. So, now Cantlay and Hovland are within 4 shots of second. Um, so I almost have a cigar Sunday round.
do you have Rom?
I do.
Okay, so you got Kepka, Rom. Do you have Cantlay?
I do not, which you know what that means. Cantlay's going to go out and shoot a 64.
Well, my only thing is though, these guys are gonna have to come back
Right.
because Cantlay's in
Right.
at 6 under.
Yeah. And Kepka's on 14 with a 6-shot lead over Cantlay. So, I mean, Cantlay's going to have to shoot a 64 and
And Kepka's probably
Kepka's
gonna
going to
have
have
to
to
shoot
shoot like a
75.
74. Yeah.
Now that math doesn't check out at all because in that case, like I think Cantlay wins by fucking 8, but
Yeah.
yeah, 3 over, 8 under. That's 11 shot swing. Yeah, he wins by 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't require nearly those extremes, but
No. But it would require Kepka to back up and Cantlay to play lights out. So I think I also have a Hovland. No, I had a Hovland first round leader, and I hit on that. So I started out Thursday great. I split the winner of the first round leader. I took Rom and Hovland to be the first round leader, and they were both tied for the lead at the end of the first round. So I cashed those
with Kepka, right?
with Kepka. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I cashed both of those bets. Yeah, so I have Rom plus 750 and Kepka plus 7,500. So
So I don't know what's going on 18. You're about to see it. Hideki Matsuyama just hit a hybrid from 189.
wow.
Like that's
Yeah, I'm watching it right
wind,
now.
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what and he hit it into the bunker.
Yeah, he was pin high, but
Yeah.
um,
Well, so that's where we're at for the Masters on Sunday morning at 10:30. So let's see what else we got going on here. The other day, this is kind of, I just saw this. I thought it was interesting. But Italy just came out a couple days ago and banned the sale of lab grown meat. So this is like a big thing that's being pushed right now by a lot of fucking weirdos. Bill Gates is a big guy behind this. Like he's throwing tons of money behind it. But everyone is trying to say that lab grown meat is like the future. And people are saying that it's because it's more humane, right? That's like you don't have to kill animals. You can just like grow a steak in a fucking lab. Um, so on top of like being really fucking sketchy, like right out of the gate when I first hear that, like it's not even a thing yet. And Italy has all like an entire country, which is not a third world country either. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like Italy, it's a fucking pretty, big country in the world. Um, they're like, no, before, like I said, before it even becomes like a commercialized thing, they put the kibosh on it. They were like, yeah, we're not allowing the sale of lab grown meat in this country.
I'm fairly certain, maybe not a ban in the US, but there's no way that that can. I'm thinking that the food, like or I guess the meat industry, is way too big in the United States. Now we live, obviously, the people who are like peddling this shit don't live in the middle of the country.
Correct.
The middle of the country thrives on not just meat, but like call it agriculture. Like, does that all fit?
Yeah, yeah, I would say
So
so.
a lot of these states require agriculture for the majority of the country, not the majority of the people, because the majority of the people are in the cities. But like, we don't see it up here, but you can't just like get rid of fucking meat. And then it's like, oh, it's more humane for the animals. Well, then the animals don't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Like a lot of these animals only exist for production.
Right.
Like they're livestock. They're not just out there.
Right.
Like I don't know how many like fucking just wild cows there are.
Not a
Can't
lot.
be much.
Yeah, not a lot.
Mostly because they would be turned into food, so fine. But you can't do this shit.
No, no, you can't. And I think, I mean, big surprise, right? In this world, people are incapable of nuance. But I think you, the argument that on both sides of it, right? The people that are like everyone needs to be vegan and we can only eat plants, you're fucking retarded. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Um, you're not going to get an entire world population to eat fucking crickets and spinach.
Yeah.
So, but then the other side of that, where people are like, oh, we need to go to sustainable farming, like sustainable agriculture and like the local shop local, all that stuff. That I don't think is scalable, right? Like I don't think, and I could be wrong, and maybe I'm not an agronomist. I mean, I know the agronomy is like
Turf.
grass, yeah,
Yeah.
turf and graph, but like I don't know. I'm not a person that studies the food supply chain. Like I don't I think if possible, right? If you, one, if you have access, and two, if you can afford it, I think you should shop locally, right? Like go to a local butcher, get cows from your area, milk from local cows, eggs from local chickens. Like I think that's the way to go. But when we have, like you said, these massive cities that have millions of people in them, you can't feed all of LA with like a local farm with like cows
No.
and chickens on it. You'd be like, it's just you can't do that. So there are some limits here. And like again, there has to be nuance to the solutions. And like for anyone that's like, oh no, we'll just eat crickets and spinach, and then we'll just grow this meat in a lab, and then people can eat that instead. It's like, I don't understand. I guess I don't understand the constant search for something to substitute meat, right? Like just eat the fucking meat.
Or don't.
Yeah. right?
Either
Because
eat
it's
meat
like
or
the
don't
whole
eat meat.
thing with like the Impossible Burger, right? Or the Beyond Burgers, like they're it's all the same shit basically. But like they're like, oh look, we don't like it's these people that like we don't eat meat, yet we want to consume something that mimics meat. Like, why do you have to eat a burger that's made out of plants? Like, why don't you just eat the fucking plants? You know what I mean? Like, why do you need to make it look like and taste like meat if you don't want to eat meat?
Yeah, it's the same thing too. Like there's a lot of shit like that where it's like I don't do X, but I still want to do X, but not do X. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it literally doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, I'm not going to eat meat, but
Don't.
I want to eat a cheeseburger, but I can't eat meat. So I'm going to eat plants that look like meat. Like they go as far for like some, I forget which one it is, but I think it might be the Impossible Burger to like put like, I think they put heme iron in it to like make it like bleed, right? Like it, like when like the red juices come out of it to make it look like, it's a burger. Like you're going to that extent to make something look like something that you won't eat. Just eat
Okay.
the fucking thing, or
Yeah, I
like you
mean
said, or don't eat it.
that's the thing is like especially like if you decided to go vegan for you and for your thoughts and your opinions and morals and whatever, and like maybe you just go like, like I don't like the way animals get treated. I'm gonna go vegan and I'm gonna shut up about it, which no one ever does. But
No.
if you did that, why would you then want something that is the antithesis of what you want? Like it doesn't. It's fucking ass backwards.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to eat meat, so you spend all this time and effort trying to replicate it.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
what
like
I don't understand.
you're not doing this for you. I don't know.
You're doing it to like force it on everyone else. You're basically sitting there like, I won't eat meat, but all of the people that do want to eat meat need to eat that kind of meat.
Yeah, and then it's like
It's
it's
like
almost
you're
like
not even part of this fucking
trying
group.
to prove your point where it's like, see, we can make a burger out of plants, and it's like no one fucking asked you if we could.
Yeah.
No one asked for this
Right.
except you people. Kinda. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like I don't understand it. But I mean, good on Italy though for getting ahead of this and just, preemptively banning the lab grown meat, which I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I can only imagine like the downstream effects that that's probably going to have over however many years of eating meat that was grown in a lab. Like it didn't come from
Good
an
fucking
animal.
luck.
Like Jesus Christ.
Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want that? I just don't get that. Why would anybody want that? Why
I
would you want
don't know.
listen, okay, so that's the thing. If no matter where you stand on like meat, no meat, vegan, non vegan, whatever. Why the fuck would you want food grown in a lab?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't either. I don't think I ever will. But
Never mind, like, a plant based diet or nutritional background. Shouldn't it be fucking from plants, not from labs? I don't know.
yeah,
Whatever.
you would think, right?
I'm just an idiot.
Yeah. Just a common idiot.
Yeah, I'm missing the point somewhere.
Yeah. All right, I got one more thing before we wrap things up here. So I guess I'm gonna wrap in a question for you and then kind of like bake in this into the story. So I guess to start, my first question is do you know any real estate attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. I may have to shoot you a text message outside
It's the
of this
same guy we
show.
use. It's the same guy we used for our place.
Okay, cool. So let me tell you my situation here. Because why would anything ever go easily, right? So I will also give a shout out to Mike, friend of the show, who is a lawyer now, and he's actually working for a real estate company. I think he's looking into it for me right now, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me give you the situation here. So Amy purchased this house from her mom, I don't know, what, 2 years ago at this point. I have no idea. So a couple things is, number one, the house, the deed, one is in her maiden name, and also I'm not on it because we weren't married at the time. So now, obviously, we need to update the deed so that her name is accurate and I am added to the deed. So I went online and found that the Taunton Registry of Deeds has an office in downtown Attleboro. So I go there, right? Instead of having to go all the way to Taunton. So I walk into the Registry of Deeds in Attleboro and I talk to this woman there who's nice enough older woman. And I explained the situation. I was like, yeah, so currently, the deed, whatever, is under her name. We're married. Might want to add me and change her name. And the woman goes, okay, well, so all we do here is file the deeds. We don't actually write anything. You need to go have an attorney write up a new deed and you bring it to us and we file it. So meanwhile, before we went in, I looked up on the Registry of Deeds the cost of like whatever we have to do. It's $160 just now. When I saw $160, I was like, yeah, no, I'll pay it. I'll pay what I have to pay to update the thing. But that was before we went in. When we went in, come to find out, all they do is take the piece of paper and scan it into the system. That occurrence costs you $160 to hand an old woman a piece of paper and have her waddle over to a scanner and upload it into the Registry of Deeds is $160 action. She must have a great fucking salary. That's a job I want, but okay, cool, whatever. Like, fine, I get it. So I asked the woman, I go, you might not be able to answer this for me, but can we just take the current deed and just change her name and say, and Jared Mello? And she's like, well, you could, but I'm not a real estate attorney and I don't know the jargon that you have to write to be protected if something were to happen, and the state could still come in and do. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. She's like, sometimes people do it, but like, I don't recommend it. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this whole fucking process is going to end up costing like over $300, right? Because like if I go to a real estate lawyer, right, lawyers bill by the fucking minute. So I'm going to have to take the time to talk to a real estate lawyer and then have him write something up. So if a lawyer charges whatever $700 an hour, say it takes them 30 minutes between our 10-minute conversation and a 15 to 20-minute typing session, it's going to be like $300 just to write the fucking deed, and then $160 for the old woman just to scan it into the system. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is quite literally the definition of a racket. So I figured I would, bring that situation here and then to you and see if you had any contacts, and potentially someone that, ideally I don't have to pay $300 to write a deed, but if I do have to pay that money, I would much rather give that money to someone that like I actually have a connection with, right? Like, if that's the thing, like I would never go to someone and ask for a discount, but I'll pay. I gotta pay what I have to pay. But I would rather, like I said, I would rather pay the guy that we know. Actually, I didn't know that. Like, I forgot about that. The guy from the gym. If he charges me $300, I would rather give him the $300 than some fucking jabroni that I don't know, right?
Yeah, so he's the guy, but he's the guy you also speak to first because I don't know how all of this works. Now, the only reason I'm going to bring up like alternative things is because, so like for example, like my mother, the car that my mother drives, the title is in my father's name. So her like general lawyer was like, "Oh, we might have to do something about that." And I went to my guy that works at the car dealership. I go, "Hey, what's the deal? Like, how do you guys handle when someone sells a car and the title's in the name of a deceased person?" They go, "Title, death certificate, marriage license." He goes, "And I'll figure it out from there." So it's not always like, so this is what I mean for like, so for you guys, he's going to be able to tell you whether you need to put her updated name and your name on there, or if it's good enough just to have a marriage license and her change of name um, documentation just on hand. Because that might be relevant too. Because the other thing, well, this is the other thing with like various lawyerings. The second you two get married, what's hers is yours and what's yours is hers.
Right.
So it might be redundant to put you on the marriage certificate. I'm not the marriage certificate, the deed.
Yeah. It
You
will.
do need to be on the marriage certificate.
Well,
That's
yes. Yeah. Well, the only thing is that, if something were ever to happen, right? And I think technically, if my name is nowhere on the deed, the state can then step in and be like, yeah, well, we're just going to take this.
Do you guys have a will?
No.
Probably want to get on that.
Yeah. I mean, I have one that I wrote out like myself. It's not like official or anything, but
I don't
it's
know if
not
that
like it's
works.
not like it's not notarized
Yeah,
or
so I think the
anything.
state so then I think in that case the state still gets involved.
Yeah.
Because that's what people with deeds and titles and shit like that. Like if you were both on there and you died tomorrow, then she can just do with whatever. And then like again, she doesn't need to take you off of the deed because at that rate you're deceased and death certificate covers that, whatever.
Right.
But like some of the stuff that I've been doing like with my mother, even though she'll update the will and I'm next of kin, like there's no issue here. But like if she has an investment account that's just in her name, even though like the will, whatever, it's like I'm gonna have to go to probate to get that if anything
Right.
happens to her before we handle it.
Right.
Um, I don't know. See, this is why you need to speak with other Mike because marriage is a little bit different than like survivorship, right? Because so like just like how the my car guy told me, okay, if the deed's in the other name, marriage license, death certificate, I can figure it out from there. Like
Right.
those, like that's like linear stuff.
Right.
Um, like I know it's not, but if the deed was ever still in Mary's name, like that's a shit show. Like you would have to get that figured out fucking ASAP.
Right.
Um, so yeah, talk to him. I don't know how this whole process goes. Like it might not be as complicated as you think,
Yeah.
but it could be. But even then,
Yeah.
even like that's the thing though. Like the complication of it is it just has to be rewritten, and if you use him, then I mean he's not going to drag you over the coals. He'll
Right.
probably charge you something, but
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I said, like I would never ask for a discount
yeah,
or
because he in
but
in everything that I've like done with him before, it's been um he looks like he doesn't go minute by minute. He like looks at the totality of the work and then, has charged me.
right. Right.
So
But yeah,
don't look
that's a
now,
good
but
point.
Hovland has made like fucking 5 straight birdies.
Oh shit, he just dropped another one on 15. And Bennett seems to have backed himself
Yeah,
out of the leaderboard.
little too hot for him right now.
Yeah, holy shit. He just made 5 birdies in a row.
I just told you
Victor
that.
Hovland. Jesus.
I just told you that.
Yeah. Well, I'm on a delay.
I wasn't lying to
I'm
you.
10 seconds behind. And my brain doesn't work that good.
Yeah, I heard you, and then didn't process it.
And the last horse crosses the finish line. All right. You want to start wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
So yesterday,
Mhm.
I did Master Saturday, which Master Saturday might start to become a high holiday. I'm not really sure yet.
I would say so.
I'm thinking it's gonna be because Master Sunday should be, but like you can't do too much on Master Sunday because people have shit going on and Sundays are hard, and then you got to work the next day, whatever.
Yeah.
And I know what someone's thinking. Don't let Monday ruin your Sunday. It's like, you know what? When you have to get up at 5:20,
Yeah.
sorry, it does.
Yeah.
But
And also, like, we're not 24 anymore.
no, I can't bounce back like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, I work a job where it's like when I'm supposed to be there at 6:30, I have to be there at 6:30. No one can cover for me. No one can like
Yeah.
I have to be there. So the menu went as follows. Assorted charcuterie, fine to start. I did spare rib style pork belly burnt ends. Those are delicious.
Which were absolutely fucking delicious.
I did a rack of pork for the first time, which I just assume rack of pork is a ribeye. So that's how I cooked the roast. I did 275 because I was cooking the burnt ends at the same time. So I did 275 until it got internal 135. Yes, 135. No, 130. And then the recipe told me to pull it, foil tent it for 20 to 40 minutes. So I did 30 because that was going to work out with my timing anyway.
Yeah.
Then I turned the oven as hot as I could, threw it back in, and it like stayed at like 142 internal. So I think that pause like stopped the cooking because pork's a little different than beef.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it does need to hit a certain level, whereas like beef, you theoretically could have it be like fucking very, very like blue.
Right. And be fine because trichinosis is a thing.
Right. So the pork, and then once I like kind of like smoked the outside of it, I just threw it in a cooler probably for like an hour or something. I don't even remember now. That came out quite good.
It did.
That is something I do recommend. Stamp of approval on rack of pork.
Yeah.
And then I just made like baked pesto ziti or whatever. But so not only is that like a little bit of like, look at how good of a fucking chef I am. Those options were quite good. So the ziti I used was Market Basket brand ziti with lines.
Shout out.
Now you're maybe wondering, why did you cut this out? There's a very specific reason why I cut this out. On the back of the box of the Market Basket ziti with lines, there's a recommended recipe. That happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is ziti with lines. Effectively, it's rigatoni, but I don't know why it's ziti with lines. It's a smaller rigatoni, I guess.
Yeah.
The
rigatone.
The recommended recipe, Market Basket salmon salad.
Okay.
You ever heard of salmon salad before?
I can't say that I have. I mean, I've heard of a salad with like topped with salmon.
Yeah,
like
no, this is like pasta salad, salmon salad.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of
I've
that.
never heard of that. Sounds nasty.
Sounds pretty gross.
Really terrible. So I've never heard of salmon salad. So good to know that that's a thing. Sounds awful.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this was the go-to recipe for pasta. Why? Like, I've never even heard of this, and this is what they recommend. Like, why wouldn't you recommend something good
Yeah.
or some like even if it's not like traditional, like, oh, hey, let's do something different. But like, this doesn't sound good. Like, why would this be it? I don't.
I
I'm like,
can't answer
just,
that.
and that's the thing is like, I'm like, I don't really have like a take or anything on this. I'm just like flabbergasted that
Yeah.
this is I saw this.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is salmon salad?
Yeah, it's like potato salad or pasta salad, but salmon. Like,
Yeah, that's
gross.
weird.
Just fucking gross.
Yeah, you can't think of anything else as your recommended recipe.
Yeah, like let a bunch of fucking barbarians eat that shit if they want to, but fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, sit.
This is Bruce.
Yeah, you'll see.
And he just hit the shot right now.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
coming in. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh no.
I can't think of a worse fucking thing for ZD with
Oh,
lines,
it
to be
stayed up.
perfectly honest. Yeah, it stayed up, but he's got that for fucking birdie now.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Rom is.
He's on the green on the like very opposite side of the green.
Probably on in too.
Yeah, he did.
Sick.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, Bruce.
all right. So my final thought is so last night on our way home, we were we were on our way back and Amy was like, "Oh, wait, do we have milk?" Because she wanted cereal. And I was like, I have no idea. So she was like, all right, let's just stop at Target because apparently, which now come to find out, apparently there must be some kind of fucking milk shortage because when I went to Market Basket yesterday morning to go food shopping, um, there was like barely any fucking milk. Like they only had like skim milk, which is gross. I'm not gonna eat that. I'm not. Fuck that. Um, in my eyes, there's only one kind of milk, and that's whole milk. And if you don't drink whole milk, you're not drinking milk. You're drinking shitty water, basically. Um, so they didn't have any milk, right? Not like nothing, like no hood. The only thing they had was Gorelick, and I for some reason I've never really liked Gorelick Farms milk, and I'm like I'm staying the fuck away from that. They didn't have Market Basket brand. There's a local Rhode Island farm that they'll carry. They didn't have that brand. Like they only had Fairlife, and I'm like I don't know, I'm not gonna get that. So no milk at Market Basket. So we stopped at Target last night on our way home. So this was like 8:30. And then Amy also had a couple other things she wanted to grab too. So um we go into Target, we pull into the parking lot, and there's like oddly a lot of fucking cars there. And we're like, oh, that's weird. We go inside and it's fucking packed. Now, I also at this point, right? It's Master Saturday and I had a few drinks. I'm not like shit faced by any means, but I got a solid buzz going. And I'm walking around Target at 8:30 on a Saturday night, thinking like, why the fuck are there so many people here? Like it was like if you had gone inside, right, and just taken a camera and taken a few pictures and showed people like as a test, like pick whatever day and time you think this is in a Market Basket, you would have said like 11 o'clock on a Saturday or 11 o'clock on a Sunday, right? Like sometime between 10 and 11 a.m. on a weekend. Like that's how many people were in here. There were lines. Like I think there were only two registers open, and both registers had lines of people coming out the Target, out of the, whatever, the queue. And then they have four self-serve like checkout areas, and that line was wrapped around like the cash out area. And I'm like, holy fucking shit! Like, don't people do stuff on like a Saturday night? Like it's 8:30. Like, why are you all fucking idiots at Target?
Night before Easter.
I guess. But like we literally had to go. We ended up getting like a couple things. We got like milk. We like these. You ever see the Kodiak little cup things? They're like muffin or brownie like pancake things in a cup. You just
Oh
fucking
no.
add water, stir them up, pop them in the microwave. They're pretty good. It's that Kodiak brand. Um, we got a couple of those, and then a little like pint of ice cream, and we had to wait in a massive fucking line for like 4 items.
I'm guessing it's because people can't get their shit together and they were doing last minute Easter stuff.
And people had like carriages full of shit, like as if
Or
they
I don't
were
know,
like food shopping
maybe it's just
on
a
a Saturday
later,
night.
maybe it's a later spot. I don't know. Do you normally go in there on Saturday nights?
No, I'm usually
Uh,
either home or somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like I'm not at a Target on a Saturday night.
I don't know if you run out to get a couple things,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
yeah, I
I
know
don't
the
know.
one in Easton wasn't like that.
Yeah, it's fucking slam. I mean, it's busy over here all the time because it's on Route 1 and we're like it's easy access, right? So it's you get all the people from Rhode Island drive over the line to come over here. You get all the people in this area because the nearest Target is probably Plainville. So like everyone that lives in like Foxborough, Plainville, Rentham all goes to the one in Plainville, and then like everyone else comes to this one, including Rhode Island. So I don't fucking know. It was just
I
I
don't
just
either.
thought I was like mind blown. And again, I'm like,
That would be my
had a
guess. Is
few
the
Fisher Islands as I'm standing there too. Like, what the fuck is going on?
that would be my guess. Is the la It's
The night before
the
Easter.
night before the last minute Easter stuff
Yeah.
because they sell everything. So it's like if people are getting candy or toys or egg, like they've got it all. Like it's not just a grocery store.
Yeah. That is the good thing about Target. I do love Target for that reason. Like they have literally everything you could need.
Yeah, the closest one to us is a fucking disaster. It's next to Wegmans, Westwood.
Oh yeah.
So I try to avoid that like the fucking plague.
Yeah, that parking lot is not great either.
It's just so busy. It's so fucking busy all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like honestly going there on the weekends isn't fucking worth it.
And never mind all the construction they're doing on the roads over there. So
oh,
like
they're doing a bunch
it's
of construction.
yeah. Well, maybe not on the way you would get there.
I mean, I go 95 to the University Ave exit.
Yeah. So maybe you would see it. Like because they're redoing the bridge right before it and they're expanding the road because they're putting in the Top Golf. So what
Oh,
used to
okay, yeah.
be
So I'm north of that. Yeah,
that,
okay.
yeah, see, that's what I mean. You would come from the other
Yeah.
way. Yeah, because they're what was a 2-lane road, right? Like one way in each direction, I think is being expanded to four lanes. So
What
two,
the actual highway?
no, like the road that so
Like University Ave?
I don't know if that's technically University Ave. It's on the other end. So
Oh,
you know
I
how
don't know
like
then.
if you're leaving Wegmans, you can take a left or a right. You probably go left.
Yeah, I think
If
we've
you
gone right like twice.
if you go right, that's how I get there. If you go right, you get to a set of lights, and you can either take a left at the lights and get on 95 South, or you can go straight through the lights, and that'll eventually take you to Route 1.
Okay, I've gone that way like once.
So
So
if
is
you're
that like
at
the Norwood Skating Club of America, whatever the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah, that's if you go straight through the lights. So if you take a left at
Oh, so
those
this is still
lights,
further back?
no. Well, yeah, it's the set of lights that's like
I've only gone that
fucking
way once.
Wegmans. It's right there. Um, so if you take a left at those lights, right, and you go to get on 95 South, that whole road is completely under construction. Like
Uh,
it's an absolute fucking disaster.
uh,
Because again, it was originally only 2 lanes, and now there's Jersey barriers everywhere, and there's fucking dirt. Like you got to drive on like a dirt road, and like the road is split because they're trying to keep the road active, obviously, but it was already a tiny road, and they're trying to make it bigger. and they're doing the Top Golf construction right there too. It's an absolute fucking nightmare trying to navigate over there. So that's why typically, like when I leave that area or going to and from, I just go straight through the lights and take Route 1. So I would go past the Skating Club of America or whatever the fuck. And like
Yeah, I like to stay away
UPS.
from that area anyway, so I think I'll just continue.
Yeah, I think UPS has headquarters over there too, or like a distribution center. That's like their main spot.
I think there's a new Granger store going over there somewhere, way closer to University Ave, though.
Yeah, 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 because it's right on the corner right now, the Granger.
Maybe it's open. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
I go that way so infrequently.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the way I come to go there. So
yeah, okay.
Anytime I go there, I drive by that. But yeah, all right. So that's gonna do it for us on this Master Sunday morning. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully your bets hit. We'll find out, obviously, when this comes out tomorrow morning. So thank you for watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to click thumbs up, subscribe, like, rate, review. If you use Apple or Spotify over on the audio game, subscribe there too while you're at it, and tell everybody you know about the show. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod, or on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. The website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch. I don't know. Well, it's too late to use it for Easter, but I don't know. Fucking next year, buy something for Easter, I guess. I don't know.
Arbor Day.
We don't even know when Easter's going to be next year. So, because we just make this shit up as we go, because it's fake. It's a fake holiday. And go to mybookie.com, use the promo code sarcasmpod to double your first deposit up to $1,000. You can go to grillyourassoff.com, use the same promo code sarcasmpod, and you will get 10% off your entire order every single time you check out. And until next time, good night, everybody.